security for women, especially the push of gender equality and all those things. The real deal now, how do you get started? How do you get started as someone who's interested in the field? Now, a couple of parts where you can start. I don't know where you are, whether in general IT or you could be even a social psychologist, could be a teacher, literature, etc. But there's always a place for you to start. The very basic one is always education. Get to school, get to a class and do an academic work, whether it's a degree, diploma, certificate. It's a very, very direct way to start. By accident, the many people who started this by accident, you get hacked and then you're like, no, why have I been locked out of my Facebook account? Why is someone posting as me? Because they impersonated me. They're posting some nasty stuff. You gotta do something about it. You gotta take action. Purely by accident. Right? It's a very common thing in IT in general. Guys who want to change careers, this is a great opportunity as well. In our community, we have librarians who changed careers, and they're now cybersecurity analysts. We have teachers who have come along. We have psychologists who are changed careers and they've pivoted into cybersecurity. Some are doing things like forensic science and stuff like that. So there's a whole, everyone is welcome in cybersecurity. That's what I'm saying. It does not matter your background, it does not matter your country. You can always start from scratch. Just like coding, right? You start coding from scratch. 3-6 months, then become sent to cybersecurity. For those in IT, there's a huge opportunity to transition. I'm going to speak about that, how you can actually pivot yourself, and get into the niche, specifically security. From military, anyone in the military, law enforcement, police officers. Back in Nairobi, we've had sessions with these guys, and many of them are. I think last week on Friday, we had a session with the Kikuyu police station. They are really interested in cybersecurity. And these guys are they're very suited because of the security mindset that they have. They've trained for months and they've had experience in security. They actually bring that mindset from physical security into cyberspace. Okay? So there are many other ways you could start. But the whole bottom line is to start. That's the problem. Just to start. It does not matter where you are, what level, how experienced to start. For me, I started back in school. So I went and did a degree in computer security and forensics. So my journey kind of began from there. So I did it from scratch, from where I've been taught CIA and all these things. Very basic stuff. For you guys, when you can start, narrow down to one specific thing, like I want to be, say I want to do SOC analysis, or I want to do what? I don't know. Could be anything. Could be anything. So you can actually narrow that down. Education, two education, academic and professional. So whatever you want to start with, I think it really doesn't matter. But of course, professional certification weigh a lot of weight because that's kind of where you learn what is actually being applied in the industry. I tell you that degree in cybersecurity, well, it can give you something, but in terms of value, it gives you all the basics that you need. If you're doing a degree or a diploma, it gives you all the basics that you need, which is good. And then you have to join a lot of dots. Academic studies is great, so find one of these awesome courses. I know there are some unis in Kenya already offering that. Stockmore, USAU, Mary University. I don't know if Pwani was a university doing this, I'm not sure. Quite coming soon, I know. Many others. I think we have even up to PhDs in IT security. Many of the unis are starting with masters and PhDs, so they're having that, which is great, right? So find some of these. You could do online. You don't have to be Kenya universities. You could do online. I'll be joining one next year in the US. So many opportunities. 3 years you're done. Stuff like that. I think it's a great investment for yourself. Professional courses. There's so many of them out there. I don't even need to list that. But you got to know exactly what you want to be first. Start with the end in mind, right? Where do you see yourself? Do you want to be an analyst? Do you want to be a investigator? Do you want to be an incident responder? Do you want to be a security analyst? So you gotta figure out exactly what you want to do. Do you want to be a security developer? If you have many developers in the house, you will actually build security software. Right? That could be your job. If it is in a SOC, Security Operation Command Center, your work will be purely updating and building code. Okay? So figure out specifically where you want to be, and then work backwards and figure out what certifications do you need, right? Be certified, I know this council have like certified security developer. There's so many other certifications being offered. So check these out. We'll give you a whole list. I'm going to refer you to some resources, which I think that's a beautiful thing for you guys to know. So, but certifications are key. Basics, CompTIA. CompTIA. Look at CompTIA. That's like the best one. CompTIA, M+, A+, Linux, S+, CSSP, I don't know all those things. But look at CompTIA. It's gonna give you some very good basic stuff. And then try to take it a day at a time. This is why security there's a huge burnout. There's huge burnout in our professions. Locally, we don't talk so much about burnout. Guys breaking down because they have to always be up. You go to a client and you have to be there 3 days in a row. Recently, we had I don't know if you guys know, circles were hacked. About 25 plus circles in the world. They lost so much money, millions and millions of shares. Some of my team members were there. They had to stay a couple nights, spend a lot of days over there, overnight, just to make sure that the system trap, they find the hackers and not just like us. Okay? So try to take it all one day at a time, because it can be very overwhelming, especially the part where you get to study, right? You can want to do a lot in a short time, but it's not possible. So, and enjoy the process, by the way. It's fun. Cybersecurity is fun. We'll come to the fun part of this. Transition. Yeah, for those guys in IT, general IT, when you're during our events and stuff we've been doing, this is a huge part of our audience, especially developers. So very simple way, very simple trick in terms of transition. What are you doing currently? Evaluate your current skills or your current position. Are you a coder? Are you a network analyst? Are you a system admin? Evaluate exactly where you are. Now, once you know where you are, it's very simple. If you're a web developer, jump straight up into WebSec. If you're an app dev, jump to AppSec, system admin, SecAdmin. Very basic stuff. But remember, between here and here, there's a journey, there's a process. Certifications, which courses to do, and all those things. So it's a 3-step process. Evaluate first where you are, evaluate where you want to be, okay? Where you want to be, and then fill in the gap in between certification and a lot of learning, mentorship, and all those things. Okay? Very straightforward. Non-IT guys, like I said, guys in social science who wants to be a security analyst, it's very possible. Very simple steps. One, where do you want to be exactly? Which role are you passionate or interested in? If you want to be an analyst, a security analyst, or you want to be a security administrator, be very specific. Very, very specific. In my last 3 years, that's the one thing that really counted. Very, very specific. I remember I wanted to, right now my passions are SOC analysis and incident response and cyber risk. Initially I wanted to be, I think I was naive, I was a bit naive. So I was thinking about being a, what is it? It was an officer level kind of. You know back in school where you have all these machinations and you go out there, you're really going to conquer the world. Everyone is ready for you and they just grab you and give you opportunities. You know that feeling. So I came to learn that being very specific helps because it narrows down. You can't do everything. So take one thing. If you want to be WebSec, run with that. Do that for the longest time that you can. From there you can jump. Okay? So for those in IT, be very specific where you want to be. The number 2, look for basic courses. Start learning Linux. I see a Linux guy over there. Start learning Linux, start learning Windows administration, start learning Linux admin, all those things. Many of the certifications usually have the entry level ones. They usually have all those courses. And start learning terminologies. Get to know the cybersecurity lingo. It helps. It makes you look intelligent. Don't I look intelligent right now? Don't I sound intelligent? It gets your groove on. Like I say, it's fun, it's work, but enjoy the process. It gets your groove on. Time is almost up. Some of the skills, this is how it's broken down. It's very simple. These are building blocks of all IT, right? OS and all those things. Very basic building blocks. Now, upper, what I didn't have is security now. Core security concepts. You have to know core security concepts. Yes, you know networks, you know how to configure beans, etc. All those things, but you know how to implement security. That's what core security issues are. So above all this, make sure that you learn security. These are great places to start. Anyway, many of these things have their own security implementations. Database security, networks, hardware, guys who love playing software there, etc. I could share some resources that breaks this down in terms of what specific areas we could actually narrow down to. Non-IT skills, this is very important. I'm a businessman, okay? I have cybersecurity startups, so you have to learn integration. You have to know how to make money. It's as simple as that. You have to know what to do. You could know the skills, you could know how to implement and stuff, but one day, at some point, you want to be a consultant or you want to be a partner in a business, so you gotta know how you make money. Okay? Managing projects, managing clients, how do you manage clients? How do you do proposal? What do you propose? Those are drain and IT stuff to get to. Law, cyber law is very critical. As a cybersecurity professional, you gotta understand some law. The new cybercrime law. Anyone knows about the new cybercrime law? Anything about the new cybercrime law? No, not you. Someone else. Yeah, you got to know. You have to understand the law and regulatory requirements. It's very important. Oh yeah, and leadership. Know how to talk to CEOs. Because they're the ones who give the money at the end of the day. They're the ones to invest in security and IT, so you have to know how to do it. Okay? Alright, jobs, there's so many jobs in terms of the roles that you could play. I think I've repeated that. Where do you want to be exactly? Which job role do you want to fit in? Look for those JDs, look for those job descriptions and actually know where can you fit in. As an enthusiast of incident response, earlier in the year I was doing a certification on the same, and it really gave me like a very clear picture of what the role of an IR is. IR guys working with SATs or CSATs. So it kind of narrows down your canvas. You have a very small, specific canvas to work. So for instance, you want to be a security architect. Yeah, you want to be a security architect. What does this role involve? Google. Specifics. What is this about? It could have overlapping, jobs like auditor or director and stuff. There could be overlapping, but there are always those X factors for each of these positions. Very, very specific X factors. An architect should not necessarily do the job of an auditor, because an auditor is supposed to see how processes actually comply with compliance and regulations. An architect will be the one designing and building stuff. So there are other things that could be overlapping, but these roles are very specific. I had security analysis. So figure out exactly where they want to fit in all this cloud of roles. Am I making sense? Are you getting something? It's a quick one, but I hope you're getting something. Yeah? So figure out roles and titles. Right? Bottom line, soft stuff is important. Project management, thinking like a businessman. Interpersonal stuff, peer, being able to communication skills. I think is one of the top skills that is out in the IT ecosystem. Everyone's talking about it. I think we all know that. But the soft stuff is important. Don't overlook this. Kinley, try to be as curious and as passionate about security as you can. Like you said, it's fun, right? It's not entirely work. Well, it's work and fun. So have some bit of passion. Know where you want your interests are. Then follow that. Try and expose yourself as constantly as possible. Read the news. Read blogs. Read articles. Go to conferences. Come to events like this. Expose yourself. Two things. Let people know what you're about. Okay. Let people know what you're about, what you can do, how you can help them. Number two, know people. Know the people you can actually help. Know the people who can actually use you. You can serve. Right? It's important. So let people know you and also know people. It's critical. And then ask around. Try and ask around for for advice, it's good to ask. Join those security forums. WhatsApp groups, quite a lot of WhatsApp groups I know about, both technical and others are more general. So try and figure out some WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups you can join. We even have a group on LinkedIn. I think you guys are LinkedIn. Go on search for Africa Cybersecurity Forum. That's a new group I've joined with someone in Nigeria, so we're trying to make it vibrant and make it really work. It has a big campus of 50 members right now. Very good professionals, top level guys. Go to LinkedIn and search for those groups. Africa Cybersecurity Forum, Africa Cybersecurity Forum. Really good. And there are many others globally. So there's a huge mountain of information, but take one or two and run, and don't take it. So that was a very short. Because I realized my time is up. That was a very simple breakdown of what you can think about, especially for those guys who want to start. 3 things. Number one, let me go back to my notes. So 3 things. Number one, now that I bet you have a kind of a figure, a bit of information of how you could start in terms of why you want, what you want to take, how you want to contribute, how you're going to get there in terms of building skills, building capacity, building certifications, etc. But most importantly, where your interests are, because it's passion. Don't just run for something because it gives money. Don't you want to be a pen tester because it's going to give you clients. You got to be keen that it's something that you want to do for the long term. Okay? It's a mission. Like I say, it's a mission, not just a career. Take it as a mission. Yes.
With the increase of cybercrime, especially on the banking, online banking, which apps do people able to use for such help them in such instances? And also, how as in what regulations are there?
Regulations for
the government regulations which are there for such instances.
Now,
on the online banking sector.
CBK released 2 guidelines for financial services, guys. Financial services, financial services. And one was the banking, cybersecurity banks guideline. Please look through that. It's a really comprehensive document. It breaks down specific. Banks need to have cybersecurity departments. Banks need to have cybersecurity officers, CISOs. Bank needs to make policies, very stringent policies, etc. Same to recently, I think a couple months ago, they released PSP guidelines. So guys like the Natalas, the new what do they call it? The new Shylocks in town, right? So the Natalas, the Frontiers, etc. All these guys who are issuing codes to financial services. They're very specific guidelines. Policy implementation, team, you need a team to do all those things. I think even saying that here, the team financial services, they have a team. They have a very good team. Okay? So on the back end, I think that is important in terms of what you want, policy and rules. So there's actually law right now. You will actually sue a bank based on these regulations. I just indicated lately the circles were hacked or breached. Lost millions of money. Thing is, so I had a. No, I can't say that.
Hey.
No, I can't say that. So they actually guys who wanted to take a circle to court. This is talking body days.
We have heard, so say it. We have heard of such, so just say it.
Well, you never know, maybe Amanda but I had a guy who wanted to sue circles. Remember, circles don't have money. They have assets, but they don't have money. Well, they have assets. Money is assets. These assets, this money belong to the land, right?
That's why they are coming with a special whatever act in budget. Okay, go on.
We need those acts because they're handling billions of money. You know, these circles, many of them have started in the 80s. So right now, bosses in USA, the big boys who have money have billions of assets. So yeah, like I was saying, these assets belong to members. But these members are not being notified when the region will come, okay? Like the case I was telling you about, it was very simple. Mobile app, this circles are mobile app, right? Guys what was searching using the app, members. And hackers came through, not even hackers, it was an insider attack. Someone in the telco company, Safaricom, someone in the app development company, right? So they hooked up, they created a scheme. So this guy, because he has access to the app, he was able to get some few coins in one period of time. This guy, Safaricom, did some ghost SIM cards, not registered to anyone, so maybe hypothetically countries, right? So once the money was organized by this app agency guy, he relayed it to the SIM cards. At the very same time, like this particular time, those SIM cards are issued. These people went and withdraw the money. Once they shut off, switch off the SIM card and phone. It's a very typical case. So we need this because members are not told. They don't even receive an SMS. Like something has happened, maybe your data was lost. Okay? So there's an element of disclosure, information disclosure that has to happen that comes back to you. In terms of apps, well, I think we just need a lot of security conscious development, especially for the apps and the sites. I can't say this again, but at some point, I don't know if you guys have experienced, at some point you go to a banking website, so you go to do like, I never personally do a website. I don't have any accounts, but I do. Actually, there's one I had to sign recently with CBA, but I don't like it. I don't like it. But there's a time you even go and you don't even find an HTTPS there. Very necessary. Let's say you're going to look at, you're going to inspect the code, for instance, but you realize some interesting things. For instance, you can do like a web assessment of these websites and sites. You can reveal some interesting things. There's one time I did one in the government website, for instance. Give you some interesting information. I do think we need a lot of good. So this is the labs now. This is the practical labs. We have a lot of courses. This is the committee I was talking about. So you can actually see pretty much all the stuff that can get you started, can get you to an intermediate level. IS2 says that is a mid-level, but you have all these, some of the general IT stuff, Oracle, Popular, VMware, and there are more others which will be updated in the coming months. So I think all of us have sort of used labs. You guys might sort of used such labs to study SATs or whatever. So yeah, this is the point. So this is the point. We are going to start off a very low cost, very affordable courses. For anyone who wants to start, or anyone who wants to do something specific. Pardon? Well, online, yeah, the labs are online, so you don't have to be online. The labs are accessible whether 6 months or 12 months. You can actually buy the labs for 12 months. Do anything you want. You could learn CEDGE, multiple courses, as long as you're within 6 or 12 months. Yeah. Again, it's very low cost. But during these trainings that we'll be doing, we'll give you access to all the labs. If you're doing a CEDGE training, we'll give you access to all the CEDGE resources that you actually want. And then you can go ahead and, of course, purchase the labs as well. And then play around with it anytime you want. For the courses, you can actually buy the courses as well and do them online. Most certifications are online. We get the classroom like trainings, mentorship. Of course, we get the labs. But we have a team of instructors we're putting together who can actually take you through, especially the labs. Take you through the labs.
You have some in Mombasa?
Pardon?
You have some in Mombasa?
We're going to be in Nairobi. You're going to come to Mombasa, please.
Sorry?
We're going to come to Mombasa. But this is to start in Nairobi. That is sometime early next year. Because our trainings are short, we're going to do short, longest. Should be very easy for us to come around and do something. So what we do, you can either choose online or in-person trainings. Yeah, I think that way should last. So you can actually choose one of the master trainings. So the trainings that we'll be organizing, they'll be very impressive. The instructor over here, for the last remember, very affordable. Don't ask me how much it is. Because it depends on the cost that you want to be, probably if you want to buy a land. One other ethos that I didn't mention, apart from just being low cost, well, the reason why it's low cost is because we want to build capacity for African cybersecurity. These things are very expensive. I can't afford it. Maybe I can do one certification. It is okay. But if I can do more, better. So that in 3 years or 4 years, I'm actually accumulated my stats and my stuff. That's kind of. I recommend if you're willing, you can start together on this.
Which advice can you give somebody like me? I've done A+, but I wanted to go ahead to CCNA, but it was sort of so much expensive. So how can you help me such that I can get the
If it is,
how can you help me, or rather, what can I do? Because it's too much expensive now.
it's so much expensive. He wants to do CCNA.
Yes.
But he's done CompTIA.
CompTIA plus.
So they're saying they offer cheaper CCNA courses.
Okay. Yeah. Come talk to me.
Yeah. So yeah. But I think there are also some, though they're very limited, there are always opportunities out there for guys who sponsor certifications. You actually want to do an application and then you qualify to do some things so that you want. I understand even now for the increase and stuff. I think early next year, I still want to have such scholarships. I think that's great. Though we need more of those, especially for certifications, because we need to get more young people certified and more mid-level professionals certified. Yeah. Any other question? I think we have that. In terms of resources, I don't know. I can't get your emails, I can't get your numbers, but I have some resources for women in cybersecurity for those who are interested. Specifically, if you know She Hacks, so kind as to extend their resources, the ones that they use. So we have Linux over there, we have security, we have some ebooks and stuff like that. For the women, I think it belongs to extend to the men. So then I can share with them right of the video. Any more questions? Yes.
My question is just a comment. This is not my show. I would just like to say that someone about the online banking application, just like my tag used to say, security starts with these kind of passwords you make for your app. But how long do you change them? How complex are they? How frequent do you like free Wi-Fi? Those are the platforms where the hackers can find you. Yeah. And then finally, cybersecurity is a very new thing now. And it's more, in the West, it's more there. It's more common there. But in Africa, East Africa, Kenya specifically, these institutions are just coming up. You just need to be on the lookout. I'm a certified cybersecurity professional and an instructor from KU, University campus here. And I know next year, January, February, I will be launching that course, cybersecurity. This is networks there, yeah, Cisco. So those who are interested, this also great potential here in Soliko, this KU and others will also come up. So I'm sure we'll not have this that we have now. People say that the fiber optic cable lands in Mombasa, but there's not so much IT going here in Mombasa. All of it is Nairobi. So we want to bring everything to Mombasa here, training, resources, and experts, so that we can get this kind of
So it will be good to partner with you in some of this stuff that you do. So yeah, just one other thing. Instead of using mobile banking, I don't know why you use mobile banking. I don't know, because I don't never use mobile. I mean, not mobile, online. Even mobile, eventually. I would recommend just find some prepaid cards. If you want to pay stuff, just get some prepaid cards. They're not attached to your account. You don't have account anymore. So they offer by MasterCard, even pay, some of those international. Well, we could assume their security is linked up that way.
How many services can be able to be given to that master?
Compare everything online. If there's any online transaction, you can use it. That's what we need.
Also, I think the Cephas Okoth gets us with us.
Yeah.
As the end users, because they tell us what to use in the account. Some people don't even know what to express is. So I think the Cephas Okoth gets us and security. I think that someone doesn't have to think about just how
I think that's a good point because these are lots of awareness. Basically, this is how we look at two things. One, cybersecurity should be a national conversation. It should be so ordinary. I mean, if you go to the US, it's so ordinary. Pretty much everyone knows about cybersecurity and why it's safety issues and privacy. But if you go down there, downtown, I mean, no one deals with that. It's too technical, it seems. But the basics, they're not very common. I think we need to have that national conversation. Part of what we're trying to do with cybersecurity, check out cybersecurity, and do the deal with cybersecurity. We're trying to create that awareness. Make cybersecurity so usual, so ordinary, so common that anyone can actually understand why it is important to be secure. That's number one. Number two, it should be a household issue. It should be a household issue. Last week we had a meeting with some parents and kids, and we were talking about online safety and security issues. It should start from there. It should start for those who have kids here, giving them tablets and laptops and stuff. Talk to them about how to use these things. So what you'll be doing is it's not just giving them tips and tricks or tools, but you'll be giving them a mindset of security, which can last forever. Actually, I'll help them. And you'll be surprised they could use that mindset to jump into these cybersecurity professions because they have that paranoia, have that cautiousness, sense of I need to protect something, I need to protect that identity of security. So I think it has to take. But we on our end, we're trying to push a national industry focus. All right, thank you so much.